me with your answers. Answers to question 1. Yeah, it's when they're like cut off from all their the way I describe it is we've exhausted all of their options, and they've entered a state where they can no longer fight back. So, and I like that your definition like clearly taps into that, because yeah, like one of the big examples I use is like Luigi above Marth on FD with no jump, where it's like at that point Luigi's only option is to hope and pray. And yeah, like that's pretty much how I consider like win conditions in general. And then for undershoots, based on your answer and me knowing you're in the Ness chord, I am going to assume you're aware that these 3 exist in a rock paper scissors system. Okay, so that's a safe assumption.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, perfect. And then finally for last question. Let's see here. So 8, 4, 6.
5 is the biggest one.
Yeah. So, absolutely. So I would say that, like, I kind of consider she naturally has 5 because it's the space she's occupying. But I can see how that's not communicated in the wording of the question. But yeah, fair enough. The one I would have is, I'm curious about 2. Can you tell me a bit more about 2? Because I don't actually have 2 in my assessment, so I'm curious as to why you've included it. I know that you've said that it's like useful versus like Yoshi and stuff, but yeah, I'm just curious about that one.
When I was thinking about this question, it was kind of just considering which use cases different positions would be in, and what positions that you'd want to be in as your if you're fighting this character. So when I was thinking about 2, I was more so thinking like sometimes there might be a point where you are trying to get on a puff that's like, I guess, coming down, if that makes sense. So you'd want to try and space directly below her, but then in this one instance where you're trying to go for a parry or power shield, I was thinking that would be like threatening for that one specific option, if that makes sense.
Right. That makes sense. So the only thing I'd comment there is, you know, we've talked, the wording of the question is that like most oppressively. So if we're worrying only about parrying and power shielding, is that really all that oppressive?
I suppose not.
Yeah. And I think that the purpose of this question is to get us thinking about position, really. Because if we look at like how most characters fight Jigglypuff in general, where do they go? It's usually under her or diagonal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we have a structural reason for why they do that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's mostly, I like this question mainly because sometimes there's debate about 6, and I've actually conceded 6 against certain people who play certain characters. But but I think we can both agree, like it's clear what we're doing here. We're understanding relative to us, what are Puff's danger zones? And then from there we can construct like a game plan around like not being in those zones while also being in the zone, while trying to also maneuver ourselves into the spots where our best tools are represented. This is why I think that like the classic advice about Ness versus Puff of just like, you know, just fair lol is actually very bad. I think fair is very good against her, but I think that we have to do it from the diagonal position, or we have to be in a spot where we're like coming up into her. Like we're either diagonal below her or diagonal above her, generally above her, if we want fair to work in that one. Because if we try to do it just head on, we wind up trading too much, and then we've dealt in like 2 and she's done like 12, and it doesn't add up quickly. It quickly adds up against us. So with that out of the way, it sounded like you had a lot of intent, like you had a good game plan about like what you wanted to do at this time, or at least some idea of what you wanted to do. Why don't you, I'm going to pass it to you. Why don't you tell me what you had in mind?
So I've been playing a lot of Slippy, doing a lot of labbing, and went to my first offline tournament the other day for Melee on Tuesday. And throughout all of this time, I feel like for the amount of time I've put into the game and the expected result from that time for myself. There's been one specific matchup that I haven't been able to, I guess, get a good footing in compared to other ones, and that is the Ness Marth matchup. So I've kind of wanted to start off with this, and I think that your explanation of the third question especially is kind of pertinent to this, because I don't exactly know what ranges to play in this matchup against Marth. I don't exactly know how to play around those danger zones in a way that would get me the openings I need to do, like, to like get the same like opportunities for punish that I would versus, say, a Spacey or Sheik or something like that. And lastly, even once I do get in, I kind of don't know exactly what I have for combo tools afterwards. So
the combo game is very sensitive on him. I'll just come out and say that. There's things that work, so we can definitely refine that. But yeah, that one's a tricky one. I'll just be upfront about that one.
That's fair. But ultimately, my main goal with this session was to look at this matchup, a couple of odds that I already have. One that I played on Slippy in a controlled environment where I felt I was playing really well into my game plan and ended up winning last stock, and then one or two games from a Marth that I played in tournament that I ended up losing against, where I ended up falling back a lot on some PM habits even, which in some situations aren't nearly as effective.
That's a very polite, that's a very, kind way of putting it. He's a lot better in PM.
Yeah, spamming down tilts in front of Marth's shield is not a great option in this game, turns out.
Okay, so in defense of down tilt, there's ways to make it better, but yeah, it's a lot more percent sensitive among other things, but yeah, I will say that down tilt I think is a move that has a little more potential than I think it has. It's a pretty solid move. It just is a little more conditional, and we haven't figured out. I think there's it's really percent dependent. That's end of the day. I think that's what it is.
I think that's fair. I definitely enjoy using it, mind you. It's just that it doesn't feel like the best shield pressure when Marth can force like a shield grab out of it or something like that.
No, I hear you on that. So let's get into VODs, because you said you had some.
Yeah. Let me get this out.
Perfect.
Want me to send over the Slippy files?
Yes, please.
So these two were a part of a best of 3 set that I played on Tuesday, and this is this the right one? Yeah, and this is the one ranked game that I was mentioning.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start with the Slippy ones, and then we'll look at the ranked one?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So let me get that on my screen, and then I will share my screen, and we'll go from there. So let me close this, and then downloads. Okay, these are the ones, and let's move this to Slippy. And then they should appear. And let me just quickly refresh. Okay, so there's the two, they were Battlefield and Pokemon Stadium.
Yes, there were 2 Pokemon Stadium games and 1 Battlefield.
Okay, perfect. So where's the other Pokemon Stadium game? Where did that go? Okie dokie. So what have I done wrong here? Give me 1 second. So game 3. So what happens if I just click this? No, that's wrong. That is not what we want. So it's got to be this then. Nope. What have I done? I'm so sorry. I swear I'm normally better at this. My brain. Okay,
Don't
so
worry about it.
Pokemon State. I'm showing that one of them's versus a Falco.
Okay, this might have, the order might be wrong.
Because I have, so I have Ness versus Marth on Stadium, and it looks like Ness versus Marth on Stadium, and then I have Ness versus Marth on Battlefield, and then it looks like I have Falco Ness on Stadium.
Alright, then that was a different VOD.
Totally fine.
This should be the right one.
Okay, perfect. Let me just pull it. Ah, yes. And this one is on Stadium. Okay, I think we are cooking. So let me just move that over to the Slippy folder, and we should be good. So,
awesome.
Congratulations, by the way. Like, you placed really well at the Ness tournament, the Thunderdome. I was really impressed with your play overall. I thought every time I saw you on stream, I just went, whoa.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Like, again, you looked good. You played well. So, I guess I don't know if you played well, because I haven't, But it's one of those, like, you looked good. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm happy with my performance as well.
Okay, and you can see my screen?
Yep, I can see it.
Perfect. So let's start with this, and we'll go from here. And so we're on Battlefield. Is that game 1, or is this game 2?
This is game 1 of the set. The third Marth game that I sent over was the different Slippy one.
Okay. So are we starting with the Slippy one, or are we starting with the set?
I would want to start with the Slippy one.
Totally fine. So that should be launch replay, and let's see here. Okay, so this is the right one, and I'm just gonna play it in 70% speed, I guess, just so we have so it's a little bit slower. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Excellent. Okay, so what's your game plan, generally speaking? Like, what is it right now?
So at the moment, the game plan that I'm primarily playing around is I'm going to be spacing around generally outside of his sword range. Specifically, I want to avoid short hop, fair, full drift forward, and F smash. After that, on punish, I will tend to try and go for some sort of. This is where it kind of starts feeling a bit shaky, because I don't feel confident enough in being able to punish these options on whiff directly. So I'll try and do a perfect wave dash in, or a short hop in, and try and play a mix up to where I can hit them on their response option once I've closed that space. And then overall, I want to try and push him towards ledge, whether it be through movement that gets him to dash dance into a corner, or through these continuous interactions, get him off stage, and then use that opportunity to take the stock with edge guarding, ideally by catching jump or figuring out what they're going to do. Kind of
like your coverage there.
Actually.
Yeah, that your coverage there was really good, and I can see what you're going for. I love that you fell on him with back air like that. The fast fall was great. You kind of bonking Marth's head when you're coming in from above him is kind of like a big thing. Because a lot of his fair only kind of covers his above him for a very short period of time, and his up tilt is kind of His up tilt is laggy and can be punished on whiff, and his up air is kind of smaller in front of him than it is behind him. So the diagonal above and in front of him is actually pretty good. That would be one open, and it also goes around his down tilt. So I would say that the diagonal approach is fairly good. It can be dash dance grabbed, and again, if we get called out, things can go bad, but it's a good starting point, I would say. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely think so. Alongside
this is kind of like the type of thing, like this nair you do. This down air you do. Yeah. That's it. I'm just watching this kind of to see what's going on. So feel free to if you want to talk more, feel free to do so.
Yeah. Going into it with my own understanding and pre-watching of this game from before, when I reviewed it on my own, I am already seeing a couple things. Like, I do feel like even this early on, it feels like I'm fishing for the dash attack 3 overshoot in particular, which, as the game goes on, I don't remember if it was like either this game or in the other set that I linked to you, but it ends up starting to fall apart because I don't feel like I can threaten with anything else in this matchup when I do it. And then I'll also sometimes try and go for platform PK fire pokes, since at least in PM, that's like the crux of my game plan from there, so it's kind of a comfort option, if that makes sense.
I mean, I think the PK Fire Edge cancel is pretty useful against zoning heavy matchups in general, or like Marth. So yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, I use it a lot. I think I use it more versus him and Sheik and Samus than I do versus most other characters, just because of the nature of the matchups. Jigglypuff is also kind of up there, but it's weird versus her. One thing I would comment on, it's a small thing, but for combos, I noticed that you will basically always, like, you look for bear after, even at mid percents a lot. But I would consider looking for nair and up air a little bit more, or soft back air. Because I think that soft back air into strong back air or soft back air into up air, like, those are pretty useful links versus Marth in general. Nair is more of an efficiency thing. Like, Nair, you can often, like, full hop it, auto cancel, like, hit auto cancel, land on like full hop rising Nair, hit them, land on platform with auto cancel, and then just kind of keep going. Yeah, just things like that. Up throw, then double jumping into stomp. So the one thing here is if you're gonna go for this this out of his throw, I would basically always be trying to, like, hit him with it. I think I'm not sure if you're trying to there, or if you're trying to just get down to the ground, but if we're going to make the read that he's going to do that up tilt, I think we might as well just go, like, for the all-in and hit him.
Makes sense. So, is that something that I can use to punish the up tilt in that case? One of the things that makes me especially scared in this matchup is landing on Marth without a double jump. Feels especially scary, or after using my double jump feels particularly scary, because if I can get juggled, then there goes my main option to get out of this advantage. And if that can convert into getting off stage, then that might as well be very difficult to come back from in some situations.
Yeah, so I would say that you're using your double jump above Marth, while it is terrifying, and I get that, especially on a level like Pokemon Stadium, where you don't have a top platform to, like, fall back on, I think it is an important part of the neutral in this matchup, if only to get him to start running away from that spot or jumping up there to hit you. I think that if he's able to sit still when we go above him, when we, like, kind of go into, like, the upper, like, the angles above him in general, I think that he just has too much control over the ground for us to really have a way in. Yeah. It's kind of like how Falcons have to stomp against people that they really don't want to jump above, like Sheik and stuff. It's not that they want to do it, it's just if they don't, like, things are kind of worse if they don't do it.
Yeah. It's kind of like the one option that's not nearly as good in concept that opens up for the ability to start playing to your stronger options, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, our stomp is, like, our highest reward move. So it, like, at the end of the day, I think that as Ness, we can't expect to win neutral as much as, like, the top tier characters in general. So we need to make our hits count, and stomp is absolutely a hit that counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean about overshoot dash attack. So let's actually look at this position, because I think that, like, this kind of spot is, like, a big thing for, like, this character. So we're going to slow this down and kind of break this one down, because I think this one would be productive. What do you think? So I'm looking for a specific distance. So, yeah, so...
I think it's Here where he starts dash dancing around
Yeah.
that specific range.
Yeah, so you're going for this dash attack here because you think that he's going to be around here at the end, right?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to aim it basically for around the edge of the platform.
Okay.
The back edge, if that makes sense.
It does. It definitely does. So let's break this down, I think. Because I think that this is let's pretend for the purpose of our example that Ness has not done dash attack yet. He's still moving. So, with this kind of range here, what do you think the goals of the two characters are, just generally speaking?
So I think in this position, one of the main goals with Marth is to try and, I guess, what this person ended up doing, which is use movement and the threat of his fair range, grab range, and I guess those two primary moves to either get me.
No, that makes sense. Keep going.
Yeah.
They're trying to bait you, right?
Yeah, trying to bait me. If I'm trying to get in on this position, and Marth is playing to this interaction, I would expect that they would also be looking possibly for an aggressive use of platform to try and close the distance. If I'm trying to, say, do a double jump cancel wave land forward to get into that diagonal, they would be looking for this specific overshoot dash attack, and they would be using hopefully an option to grab to get me into the corner.
Yeah, so they're looking for they're looking to bait us.
Yeah.
And then because they want a reversal or to like take control of the match from like a counter hit. And from our end, we want to try to like either maintain or capitalize on our advantage, on like the advantage that we've achieved through stage control. So I'm just drawing a few things on this spot. These are just kind of like spots where the opposing character basically is right now. So Ness is that one. This is his starting position, and this would be Marth's starting position. So with this in mind, you could probably make the case it's like maybe over here. I go by his feet, but like it's up to you. In either case, though, actually we'll go by the one that's a little bit more visually accurate. That's fine. So with that in mind, with Marth being here, us being here, what do you think a good first move that we can do is? That is respectful of what Marth can do and what his threats are, without us having to all in.
I think that closing the space slightly to be not where I currently am, but to be right below the left edge of the platform would make a lot of sense, because then that gives me a bit more access to DJC towards that position, as well as the platform to be able to, I guess, mix up my angle of approach.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I think that's a great idea. So basically, moving into this spot, essentially, like where the ruler is now marking. So like over here.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. How would you ever consider going a teensy bit further? Because you probably started over around here. So I'm just wondering, will this be enough to go into like that run cancel?
Run cancel?
Yeah, like running crouch.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, can we get to running crouch? Because I think running crouch is a pretty good consideration. Because if he's using like his fair and his down tilt and stuff, I think that like with our low damage, crouch cancel is probably pretty good here.
That makes sense.
And it doesn't really take away from our ability to do other things.
Yeah, it doesn't. One thing with running crouch, let's say that Marth does hit me with a fair or a down tilt.
Mm-hmm.
I checked the percent. Is it at like 3% or so?
Yeah, we're at 3.
Okay.
We can write that down. Like, here, that's easy.
Yeah.
So 3.
Alright, so
He's at 24, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The main question for this position, especially, I'd want to know is, do you think that if I were to run in crouch, that, let's say just straight up tipper fair into tipper down tilt, he's able to get that combo, do you think that would push me away during the CC, or do you think that I would still have the opportunity to, I guess, not necessarily enforce the mix-up, the potential angle of approaches that I was just talking about, but just not be too deterred from that position and, like, push back? Is that...
Oh, Ness is super heavy. I would say that, like, if Ness gets hit by tipper fair, so first of all, is it delay fair? Or is it rising fair?
Delay.
So so if it's delay fair and we run forward and crouch and see him, like, jump into the air, I mean, we don't have to necessarily sit there and take it. Like, he's at a higher percent than us. We could just jump up. We could short up nair there.
Okay.
Like, we could up tilt, maybe. We could forward tilt. Like, we've got stuff there. Because we're running into his space and he's coming forward, like, he'd have to, like, jump backwards and do it to be spaced. And then if he's doing delay fair anyway, like, we could easily short hop. Like, we could rising fair. Like, we have options. Like, what we're doing kind of is enforcing the high-low mix-up with his fair. Because by running forward into crouch, if he attacks our crouch with rising fair, then we can just counter hit him. Yeah. But if he delays, which would be safe on our crouch, then we can hit him while he's going up. So we are creating an opportunity for a mix-up that is not, and then in both cases we could also potentially just wave dash back, or like we could wave dash back, we could dash back, like we could dash back out of crouch if you're able to do that. I know that one's kind of a tricky one, but like, yeah, a lot of players can do it. But the point is, like, we have a lot. We could even wave dash forward in some cases, like using our low height. We're basically creating an opportunity for us, though, to have where he has to respond to different options. He can't, like, if he tries to be safe and not commit by using his sword as his main plan, he still has to think about how he does it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're basically like, so like running crouch would be one option. What's another thing that we could do that might make some amount of sense by moving over here? Like, if we go from here to here. Does it ever make sense to just, like, short up fair here?
I think it does, yes.
Yeah, because, like, we could, like, jump jump here. We don't even necessarily have to commit to anything in this jump, do we, right? Like, we could jump, see what he's doing, potentially, like, side dash back, side dash down. We could commit to fair forward, like around here. We could also potentially double jump fair around here, right? And possibly, like, put it closer towards the corner. So it's kind of doing the job of our, like, overshoot dash attack, but it's with, it's with a much safer move, like it's with our fair. Double jumping here also gives us the option of, like, retreating with the platform as well. Yeah. You could even use the platform as well. You could also use like a full hop here for the same thing, but it kind of commits you to more of like a platform play. Yeah. So I would say that those are kind of things that come to mind as being somewhat appealing. The nice thing about the platform too is, like, if we full hop towards it and we do the waveland back thing and he runs into the corner, then we have a bit more of a reason to do the PK Fire stuff at him, right? So that's that's a reason too. So we could do, like, PK Fire. Yeah. So what do you think? Like, what do you think of these options? Like, what do you think of the options of, like, just kind of structuring it more around, like, setting up a convergence point with our movement? Like, because I think that like what we're really feeling right now is a lack of options, but
yeah,
we have options. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely really like this card here. One other option that I'd want to ask about is, let's say that we do go for the double jump to the platform, and then I guess I can't show it on the screen, but, like, the wave dash back, and the same situation that does set up for the edge cancel PK Fire. Rather than going for the edge there's also what value I could also get out of using that opportunity to, say, use some sort of double jump cancel move, whether it be
like this, right?
Side dash down. Yeah, basically to like move even closer into the space that Marth is and push him even more into the corner where I can get those mix up into.
It's that I love doing that. I think it's good. It's like a little riskier because we are committing our jump, but one of the nice things about it is that because we have the platform nearby, a lot of times with his like with his natural hit trajectories, like if we're coming in like this after our double jump cancel, right? A lot of times we're being hit around here, which means we have this surface to work with. If we can get hit onto or off of the platform, we get our jump back anyway. So Ness really likes platforms in general, I think, because what they do is they offer us like ways of refreshing our like most important recovery resource. So like the fact that we're doing so much fighting with this thing nearby actually works really well in our favor. Yeah. This is actually how I get a lot of claw up airs and stuff. Because, like, what I'll do is, when he comes in with down tilt, if he tries to poke, from Marth's perspective, which we'll use with Boring Gray, because screw this character, like, if he pokes, like, if he comes forward into, like, about this block here, and starts, like, poking down tilt, a lot of times this is where, the type of spot where I will get, like, I'll be able to get, like, up airs by going up and then coming down diagonally. Or going up, like, moving back and then coming in diagonally. I would say that, like, up air in general is kind of a misunderstood move against him. I think it's really good when he's doing down tilts in general, and it's also a good timing mix-up for his forward airs. Like, if he's doing delayed ones, like, dash jump, double jump cancel up airs moving forward are a really reasonable way to, like, call that out. Because if we do get the call out, we actually get something really good off of it. Whereas if we do that with like fair a lot of the time, we don't. So I feel like there are, especially with Ness's weight, because I think Ness's weight is really like one of his key like methods of like preventing damage. Knowing when to DI into things when they're not true, or DI awkwardly so they have to kind of reach to get us, and then naring at a good, like naring. Just because it's a chunky move that covers his whole body, or wiggling into air dodge to like find a surface to slip and to like touch. I think those are two really critical ways of surviving in this matchup, because they give us ways to like refresh our jump and also trade and also just like operate without worrying about the fact that we're using our double jump so much. Yeah. I think that, yeah, but the other option that I would also consider, and I know this will sound crazy, but bear with me. What if we just wave dash directly into his zone? Like, our wave dash is long. Like, it goes, like, from here to here, right? So, what if we just go all full speed forward and, like, just bat or something?
I actually really like that.
What about it appeals to you?
Because this is something that I already tend to try and do when Marth goes for an F smash, so thinking about it just as a raw option, I think opens up the opportunity for me to get the same mix-up without him even needing to go for an F smash as like a reaction. It's kind of like the proactive versus reactive kind of deal.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it'll work out all the time, and like I'm not saying it'll work out a lot of the time, but like I think one of the things that's nice about it is that if he runs into the spot, like you can even do this maybe with dash cancel, like run cancel, but I think wave dash is needed for the burst speed. And I think that the benefit of it is that even if he shields in the corner, like if he sees us coming forward and he's not sure what we're doing, and he like turns and realizes what's happening and blocks, he gets put onto the ledge anyhow. And that's totally fine for us. If he down tilts, like if he moves back and down tilts or something like that to try to like poke us because he thinks that we're gonna, like a lot of times because of because of the damage separating the moves, the forward smash is just gonna cleave through his down tilt anyway and just like kill him. It does have problems versus fair, but like again, there's that high-low mix-up that sometimes works out in our favor really well here. Like if he rising fairs or falling fairs and he's slightly too far back, like forward smash is really good there. So it's not a very precise option. The failure rate is pretty high, but at the same time, it's a way to challenge his dash back that does in a way that doesn't immediately fold to shield, and that like has much more immediate reward in the direction we want to hit him in. And also, like, if we get it successfully, and then he starts shielding in that spot more, or like playing around it in some way, maybe that's how we get grabs and stuff to work there, or like nairs. So we're just creating spots where we can potentially outplay him later, while also possibly getting reward now. So, how would you say this is going? Is this working for you? Is it not working for you? Like,
the coaching session or the game?
The coaching session.
Okay. Yeah, this is really starting to jog my brain a lot more regarding what sorts of openings I can get on Marth and how to much more consistently play different mix-ups.
I love this.
Outside and within this range. Oh my god, I love hitting that bat on landing Marths.
I don't know why you didn't go for it again. Like, cause like, my thinking here is you hit this forward smash, and then you do this, and then you wave dash back, and the thing is, like, can he hit you with where you are?
He just used a double jump afterwards too, right? I don't think he can.
So I'm like, just stand on the platform, let him miss next to you, and then we'll just like batter yo-yo him, like, or back throw him. Like we had the good position, because the platform was insulating us. He double jumped, so he can't, like, his drift is limited. Like, yeah, we had it all. And also, like, here, like, once you wave dash here, like, we kind of like back off. But I'm also thinking, like, I'm thinking bat, because bat again, or like maybe we just grab him. Because like he's afraid of the bat right now. I think you could have actually gotten that follow up, but like, this is so well done. I'm actually gonna slow this down because I want to break down that platform position because I think there's something there. Okay, so you were definitely right to not go for the bat here because of when you arrived relative to him. But I think with that, like, I would have been very tempted to just either pressure his shield or go for grab, because this is a really good spot for DJC back air, like where you were originally.
Okay, so that is actually something else that I wanted to talk about. It's that I'm not entirely familiar with what sorts of options Ness has for shield pressure.
Okay.
In general, but especially versus Marth when he has multiple front-facing threats out of shield. I know about the DJC back air interaction with grab. I think I read that. Was it Seabass that posted it or something?
It might have been Murdoch.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I think it was Murdoch.
Okay, fair enough. So, I think that with this spot specifically, I'm trying to think of how I'd break this down. I've sent you the diagram already, so yeah, we're not losing anything by making a new one. But let's take a look here. So his forward air starts. No, he doesn't get to be blue. He's going to be something. He can be red. Yeah, Marth is definitely a red kind of guy. So with his forward air out of shield, if he does it in place, we can agree it starts up here and probably comes down here like this. And if he jumps forward, it kind of does something like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'd say here is, because this is the danger zone. But the thing we have in our favor is that it starts up here, right? So because of that, what I'd say about DJCs is that in this, I'm not sure how they are in PM, but I'd say for this game, the name of the game is we want to be like very low to the ground with them when we're going in on Marth. Because the idea is that we're trying to stay basically below like this line. We're trying to stay below this line as we're moving towards him, so that if he fares out of shield or nairs or whatever, we kind of go under him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, the next question I'm going to assume you have is, what do I do after I hit his shield? right? Okay, so this is where spacing is very important, but there is a line around here. Like, so if Marth puts out his grab, it's kind of like... Marth's grab is a little interesting. So, I say interesting, I mean, like, you know, completely fair and balanced, it's fine. But so his one grab hitbox is here, and the other one is kind of like, is a little bit, it's a little bit broader. It's like around here, and it hits like this. So the thing, and the reason that this is significant is, if Ness is crouching, Ness's low profile actually goes under, like the back of Ness's low profile actually goes under this, even like the big part even. But really? there's a catch. You have to be facing away, and it's spacing dependent. So like with Ness, you know how he's got his big head? So he's got his big head here, and then like the rest of his body will be here, and then like his hands will be holding his head, and he'll be like kind of like crouching. This will miss, like his Marth's grab will miss him here if he crouches in about this spot, like about here. So when you're doing your spaced back airs, really what you're looking to do is you're looking to like back air and then crouch, so that you finish about here. It's fairly generous because of the one nice thing is that it's this spacing is fairly generous because of the amount of like knockback on his back air in general. But it's basically like, and if you want I can even just show you what this looks like so you know, but this is basically kind of the idea here, because once you get into this and he's not able to punish you out of shield directly, then it's much easier for you to go for like follow-up hits or like dash away and then go set up another one. Yeah, but this is a key thing to establish. Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, I really like that. In general, how much are you okay with, like, comparisons to PM in this position? Because that's basically my point of reference for this character right now.
I'm totally fine. Like, whatever helps you understand, I'm good with.
Alright, totally. So in PM, I never really considered any sort of using low profile with this character, considering, for one, a lot of the time his shield pressure is a lot more direct in using, for example, mag to get cross-ups or B-reverses to bait out kind of like a float or something. And then also DJC, and in general, as I had mentioned before, down tilt pressure on shield is kind of insane for that if you're trying to push for a shield or a shield poke to get a pop-up. So one of the biggest things that I've been having trouble with in shield pressure situations like this, or versus other characters like Spaceys, is that suddenly I don't feel like I can comfortably directly pressure shield anymore, and I haven't been able to figure out a way personally to be able to figure out get around that issue, I guess. So I'm starting to think a bit more from this position how I could use something like low profile to bait out an option just based on the hurtbox shifting for me.
Yeah,
so this in particular is really exciting.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that like in this game, his down tilt, I don't know if it works the same in PM, but his down tilt finishes with him in crouch. So there's certain tricks you can use. Sometimes that messes up our dashbacks if we're not careful, but there's tricks we can use to like make that easier, like buffering walk and stuff like that. But the point I'm getting at is like crouch is one of the things that I think that's really quite good with this character, because he is pretty heavy. His crouch is fairly low. And the combination of those two things, even though he doesn't have the best like counterattacks out of it, just being heavy and making things miss are very, very useful attributes, and it also keeps us from going so far off stage, and from getting popped up for combos, which means those are spots we don't lose our jump in. Boarding the platforms also with like things like side dash, like we can enter crouch there, which is a utility. Like we can enter crouch efficiently on platforms, which is a utility a lot of other characters don't really have, because usually they have to like wave land or teeter cancel or something, in order to do that, but then it's like it's really awkward to enter crouch from those positions, from the teeter, and for the wave dash for wave landing, that's like a 10 frame commitment, whereas us it's like a 5 or 6, and that kind of efficiency adds up pretty quickly. Yeah, so this might help you. So crouch, I think, non-conditionally, and I don't remember if Peach is non-conditional, but I think she is. But I think that Peach and Ganon's grabs just like straight up miss this character if he's crouching. For the conditionally, that would be Sheik, Marth, and Falcon. But yeah, if you're facing away from them, and you are spaced, then yeah, their grab just goes right over you. Yep.
Would you happen to have a hurtbox visualization for the crouch?
Not on hand, but like we're near the end of this match. Let's finish this, and I can just show you quickly in I can just go into Uncle Punch and show you.
Sure.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, he's Omega dead. Alrighty. So let's see here. Let's quickly do this. And I have sent that. Good. Let me load it. Where is Uncle Punch? There we go. Do. And it's because the reason that this happens is because his head is huge.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we should use one of our correct participants. Please, Marth, the lovely and talented. I do like that you're aware that the dash attack overshoot is the type of thing that it's easy to run away with it. The one thing I'd kind of comment on though, and then we want fight collision. So, you can see, let's actually turn the camera in on him. So you see how he's bigger, like...
Yeah.
Right. So, that's why. Like, if I do it right into him, he'll get me, but... See, do you see what the spacing looks like?
Yeah.
Cool, huh?
Yeah.
You can also do it with up airs too, although it's if you want to look for launcher, it's a little bit trickier, but because it's just not as safe on shield, but it technically works if you're fast, if you do it low enough. It doesn't work with Nair. Don't try. But yeah, the two aerials that are good for pressuring shield, actually down air is pretty good for pressuring shield too, for the same reason.
Okay.
You can sometimes even use short hop with it pretty effectively. I'm gonna probably mess it up a bunch, but I'm missing my fastball. No. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I won't spend any more time. Actually, you know what? Let's check one thing. I said I think that Peach is going to be exempt. So let's actually just double check Peach real quick, because that's something. But yeah, so I think that I'll check Peach quickly, and then we'll take a look at, do you want to look at the match, which match do you want to look at next? Because I know that we spent more time than you might have anticipated, but yeah.
I think it would probably be, we just saw one on PS2, or PS2 Stadium, so probably Battlefield.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, you can see how it's not conditional with her. I can even do it forward. Okay, perfect. So let me get out of here, and then let's look at the Battlefield game. Yeah. But I would say that, around, as a general, percentage point, 50%, at around 50%, I would say that is a good starting point for, using, soft back air in general, soft back air up air. The other thing about up air in this matchup, I would say we usually don't chain them past like 45. Actually, I have a video on my. Do you know about my YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Okay, there was something on there with like Marth combos. Did you see that? Have you seen that one or no?
I'm not sure.
Here, why don't I link you it? Get out of here. Okay, so let's start this again so I can actually focus. PK Fire, love it. I like that Nair. I would have grabbed him because of the PK Fire next to you. Because it like makes it, yeah, it's kind of pressuring him. But yeah, so I like how you're using the edge cancels with the side plats. I think that's quite good in general. Yeah, you're doing a good job of like staying in like the spots where his sword, where he has to like commit to like a double jump or something to hit you with his sword. I think that's like a big part of why the diagonals are okay. After that, up air? Okay, back air. That's probably better. Okay. I would have, okay, so my thought here is if you're going for that, I would be looking for back air. Like, I'd be looking for DJC Nair or back air to just hit him back off, because I want to hit him before he comes out of this.
Okay.
Because he hasn't hit the ground yet. That said, do you ever go for the edge here? Or do you figure it's because he's covering it?
Sometimes I will go primarily to try and go to the high up over stage so that I can, at this percent, get good DI and rinse repeat a bit closer to the stage and hopefully get a better position to recover.
Gotcha. One thing I'd consider, up airing at the end of this stomp. I think the up air can kill him.
Yeah, especially if he's DIing for the bear.
Yep. Because he's DIing like hard in basically. Yeah. That said, I think that vertical kills in general are important versus Marth because of that reason. Yeah, like, we're kind of unique in that we're a stomp character that has, like, a vertical kill move as well as a sideways kill move. So I think that using that DI mix-up to, like, as much as we can to, like, make them, to cut down on the amount of work we need, I think is important.
Yeah. I think it's the same thing as in PM, because I have used down air into the mix-up of up air bear before. I think I just gotta be a bit more cognizant of it in this game, because I do tend to be a bit more, have a higher tendency to go for bear in this game overall.
Nice. So one thing I wanted to kind of talk, one thing you did really well here, boarding the platform as part of your juggle. So like once you kind of got him past like the 40-50 mark, you pushed, like when you went forward, you full hop to land on the platform. The only thing I'd comment on here, I feel like it's so awkward to hit the follow-up on that up air, on that third up air, because he's going to go on the top platform. How do you feel about nairing forward?
I can see how it would work. That would push him towards the ledge a bit more, and since I would have the ledge refresh, and they would, on good DI, or on a, not necessarily good DI, but on like DI up, they would be like in the diagonal, and on DI away, they would just be off stage. I think that would be, honestly, a better option.
Yeah, so...
unless I'm confident they're going to be going for, like, a DI forward on up air.
So I want to be clear here. What you did here was totally fine, and, like, in no way do I think this is a bad combo. This is the type of combo I would do if I was up a stock, because this is, like, really good at consolidating damage. I think that because we're an even, I like the Nair more, because it's more likely to convert to a kill. Because by pushing him over here, like a lot of times that's like another nair, or like weak nair, strong nair, which is, I think like one of the things about Marth is once you get him to about 50, 60, a lot of the combos you get on him are going to be some kind of like mix-up, DI mix-up that involves your weak nair or your weak bear, and then like your strong bear or your strong nair. Or up air. Like you could also hit him, like you could weak nair up air and put him above you. You could then PK Thunder to like Shark or look for more up airs. Like you've got a lot of options at that point. But once you combo him with like the up airs to the point where you can like start pushing him in directions effectively, that's kind of like the name of the game really with this guy. Because at that point then you have like you have weak aerial versus strong aerial, and you're really trying to make Marth hold away on a strong bear at some point. Because then he's just dead. At that point, when Marth does not have a good like high angle to recover from, he's much more manageable for the edge guard. Yeah, because like all the stuff you're doing to fall on him basically work much better when he's starting low, because you don't have to fall nearly as far, and you can also threaten edge hog and light shield hog and all that good stuff effectively. You can also PK Thunder to pull him away from the stage. Like everything is easier. That said, I still think your play was fine. I just think that like, yeah, it's a more conservative combo line basically. So good at damage, not as good at like securing the kill, but yeah, I've definitely done those against Marths, and I would PK Thunder him here. I know your play worked because of the angle, but like think of it this way: if we PK Thunder him here and pull him away over here, like, what does he do? Because he's going to get popped up, sure, but he has to use his side B to like, fix his position, right? Because he doesn't have his jump. And then at that point, it's just, like, we just Marth Killer him anyway. Does PM have Marth Killer? I've heard rumors it doesn't.
It's a little bit different where you have to use shield DI because there isn't any sort of light shield. But you can have some workarounds to do effectively the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not something that I've particularly explored before, because in that game, Ness has a lot more consistency with using drop-down rising nair from ledge to catch almost all of Marth's low recovery angles on its own. For a reverse hit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that makes sense, because again, Ness is an overall much stronger character in PM than he is in here, so that makes total sense to me. Marth Killer is usually kind of like a character's like second, like it's a backup option for other things, but Ness just in this game happens to like not be good at grabbing and he happens to not be good at getting off the ledge. It's not so much grabbing it, it's more getting off of it that's the problem. So Marth Killer gives him a way of like, it's kind of like why some characters like why other characters do it really. It's a way for him to delay grabbing the edge versus Marth, which is important to him because once he's on it, he can't really get off as efficiently. So it is an important utility. I definitely recommend learning it. Do you know how to do it?
Could you repeat like the specific thing? I think I missed it.
Yeah. Oh, do you know how to Marth Killer?
No.
Okay. We can go over that, because I think that will give you that'll make the PK Thunder edgeguard make more sense. So basically what you'd do here is you'd roll to the edge, either facing it or facing away from it. And once you get here, Ness will be facing this way, right?
Yeah.
So then you light shield as you're coming out of the roll. Like as your roll is ending, you light shield and hold this way. Hold off stage, and then yeah, that's it. Because it would mean in that situation, it would mean that you don't have to like time the ledge grab at all. Like he would just his shield would get hit, he falls to the edge, and then you hog Marth. Now, what you did was fine because you timed the edge grab correctly, but there are situations where he has like his side B, maybe he has his side B but not his jump, right? So he has like a mix-up below you. That's the type of spot where the Marth Killer is really good. Yeah, because it just ensures that he can't play a timing mix-up with you. Once he can't recover with his air dodge and jump, and has to up B to recover no matter what, he can't play a timing mix-up with you anymore if you have the Marth Killer set up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is all.
I do remember it was starting to get around this point that I was getting a little nervous.
I think you could have air dodged on the second one. I think you could have air dodged on that one too. Possibly. I mean, Ness is really heavy in this game. So like good shaking and air dodging, very, 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 very useful skill. Gotcha. Nice. After this PK Fire, I'd consider like... I would have probably considered... This would be a good spot where I'd up air.
Yeah.
Like just falling up air. How on earth do you win this?
I didn't.
Oh. Aw. Right, this is from with the different person, right? Gotcha. How did we take all this damage? I'm curious. So it's about here. So he throws us off stage, I guess. Jump backwards here.
Yeah.
Because like you see where his sword goes, right? So we go this way.
Yeah.
Good DI. On this nair, smash DI or ASDI up. Because it'll avoid the second hit a lot. We want to go like this way. Kind of like that. And this is another example. This is part of why we actually try... When we predict with the stomps, we like actually do try to hit him. Because think about if we had come down directly on him, right?
That makes sense.
What do you think What do you think the combo would be at this percent?
I would expect it to be probably a stomp, soft bear, hard bear.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think that like we might even be able to make like hard bear work. But I think it's like definitely like double bear in some way.
Yeah.
It depends on partly where he goes. Like I'm more likely to do hard bear if he goes above the platform, because then I can like kind of like land on it and use it to like set up another good jump. Whereas if he like goes off stage, because my double jump is a little slow starting up, I might have to do soft bear, strong bear, just because I don't want to have to like jump off stage to like into him to hit him. I want my jump to like be usable for me getting back, so then I can edge guard more cleanly. But that's kind of like the consideration there. But yeah, so that's I think the biggest thing that like went. I think that's like the biggest opening that we didn't like make use of. Actually, this one's also that's also that one there with the missed forward smash. That one is another one. Do you know what your options to punish that are?
In this position, I would expect an up air launcher to be a strong opener.
Yep, DJC up air or DJC back air. Those are the two that I would say. Or wave dash out of shield grab and back throw. Like put him at the edge and see if we can win on ledge pressure.
Could you actually go back like a couple frames? Like after that F smash, there was a brief moment that I want to see in the positioning.
Yeah. So let me know when we're there, because it's hard to go back in replay.
Yeah, totally.
So are we here or?
A little bit more.
Okay, tell me when.
Hits the shield. A little bit more. I should wave dash into him, I think.
Yeah.
Can I get a grab forward throw here?
I think so.
I think that might actually be a nice way to DI check and throw him off stage and then put him in a really bad position.
Yeah, because you're like right inside his space, and like his hurt box is leaning forward. Yeah, I think forward throw works here. That's actually a really good catch because I didn't think of that. But yeah, and especially with him being at 35, it's going to be stronger than your back throw anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, this is your play is better. I like this way more. I think I think the throw is definitely like I would have gone for back throw here, but this is I think this feels good.
Mm-hmm. It is a very blink and you miss it situation though, so.
For sure, and like I think that like what we're seeing here is just kind of the nature of this matchup. There are openings that we can play for that are quite good. Like he basically went for a delayed fair there after the PK fire, and that was our chance to like win that interaction. We had an out of shield punish that we could have hit. We had a missed forward smash that we could have stomped. Like the openings are there. They're not common, but they're there. But we do have to recognize them and take them and hit and grab them when we get them. Interestingly, that's actually one of the purposes of the overshoot dash attack, and why I strongly recommend not removing dash attack from your play entirely, because it is a really important conditioning tool.
I definitely don't intend to, especially in PM. I'd say it's his most important tool, especially post CC break percents.
Okay.
I think that the main thing with this game is that generally I'm enforcing this a lot more with mag movement and PK fire and EX fire, so it's kind of like I have to exchange one set of options to hit the dash attack for a completely new set that I'm not fully understanding.
Okay. That said, you came here for perspective. Do you think that you have good takeaways for like how you can kind of proceed concretely? Or do you like how are you feeling? Like do you need what do you need from me right now?
Right now I feel a lot more confident in how to find these sorts of openings against Marth, and how to I guess fix some of the holes that I came into this session thinking that I had. I think especially with some of the diagrams and resources that we developed, and a few new nice knowledge tidbits like the backwards crouch cancel low profile, or crouching low profile. I think all of that is going to be very useful information when I go back, review that last game that we didn't get to, and then start building like a more comprehensive game plan for a number of the situations that we went over.
Yeah, because
I guess I'm just really confident.
That's awesome to hear. And again, that's just kind of how I like to work. I don't want to tell you everything to do. I just want to give you the tools so that you can kind of take your style in a more successful direction, but one that you ultimately build and feel happy with. Any chance I can convince you to watch? Any chance I can shamelessly plug my this combo thing versus Marth?
Go ahead.
Okay. I hit him up there because I could he'd be a knockdown and I'd follow along on the platform. But yeah, you can see what I mean. There's a point at which I don't think the DJCs are good anymore. So we just try to be mindful of that zone. It varies based on the game state and position, but it's around 40 to 50ish that I'd say it kind of stops on Marth. Maybe 60 on a good day, but and there's that soft hit, strong hit dynamic that I was telling you about.
I was actually thinking a little bit about if a soft hit there could have also been a potential follow-up.
Yeah.
So seeing it there is nice.
Yeah, and then there's I've got some sets online with a Sheik player, a Falcon player. I'll probably put more up later, but yeah, this is my little channel. It's got some stuff.
Totally.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't really have anything to say there. We've already gone over all these concepts, so I'm feeling good about this session. But if you do have any follow-up questions about anything we went over today, shoot them my way. It's up to you whether or not you share those diagrams with Ness. They're going to be in the video anyway on YouTube, so whatever. But totally up to you. And if you want to do this again sometime, or if you feel like you just got everything you need to work on for the moment, fantastic. I'm good either way. And yeah, best of luck. I hope we can bump into each other on Ranked or something sometime.
Totally. Thank you very much for the session. I very, very much appreciate the opportunity to work with you here.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Take care, Kumatora.
You too.